Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, senators back in session going over the governor's financial bailout bill. Plus, the MCOG president calls the 2017 Liberation festivities the worst ever. So could games of chance be considered again? And safeguarding against a shooter on campus. One little girl wants idle leaders to ensure her peers are safe.
Hafidang, good evening.
Bracing for extensive cutbacks, Governor Eddie Calvo ordering executive branch agencies to prepare for the possibility of furloughs, layoffs, and 32-hour work weeks. Calvo meeting with Speaker BJ Cruz most of the afternoon to discuss his financial bailout bill, senators going in and out of session talks briefly before ultimately recessing to continue Tuesday morning. The measure hoping to address the $67.9 million revenue shortfall that is a result of the Trump tax reforms. DOE also chiming in, sending out a release of its own, that there could be payless paydays and cuts that will impact employees and families if they don't get the $19 million needed by week's end. Meanwhile, special funds could be tapped to cover the government's anticipated financial shortfall. The Department of Administration made the request after Senator Frank Ogden Jr. on Friday suggested the governor's fiscal team look at the bank and book balances of all accounts for autonomous and semi-autonomous agencies. Senators late today receiving a copy of the administration's fiscal realignment plan. They are spending the evening reviewing it and will reconvene session at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
What does all this mean for your bottom dollar? Well, a surge in cost of living. Guam's consumer price index rose 0.9% in the fourth quarter of 2017 compared to the previous quarter and 3.2% from a year ago. On average, overall prices increased by 2.5% over the previous year. The food group index increased 2.2% quarter on quarter, 3.1% year on year. Checking some of the biggest quarterly increases, eggs rose 20.2%, beef increased 6.6%, and fresh fruit prices were higher by 4%. In the utility sector, electricity increased 6.3% over the previous quarter and 17.1% from the previous year. Water, sewer, and trash prices decreased 0.4% on quarter, but increased 0.2% from a year earlier. Rent and lodging prices show no quarterly change, but increased 0.6% over the last year, and fuel prices increased by 2.7% on quarter and 5.5% over last year.
To budget and manage the finances on Guam.
It made no difference. I've been used to it for the longest time.
Anything that will affect their pockets that's not good for the people.
Are wages changing? I mean, it all has to balance out, right? So it's never good when everything goes up and wages don't go up as well.
I don't see anything ever coming down. I think there should be more accountability with the system so we can know where all our money's going.
The consumer information data was reported by the Bureau of Statistics and Plans. Yet another financial blow affecting our government, this time for the island's largest annual celebration.
The Mayor's Council president calling last year's Liberation festivities one of the worst and least attended since 1944. His statements come as they struggle to figure out how they will get the money to put on another event. Find a solution or else give the responsibility to someone else.
It was so sad that none of the mayors this year want to continue if there was no change in the support from the legislature or the governor's office.
The issue, the 74th Liberation Day Carnival.
The governor was surprised that there was practically nobody at the carnival.
A lingering problem that MCOG President Mayor Paul McDonald says is a result of the new law authored by Senator Talina Nelson that bans gambling at the annual event.
They pulled the rock underneath us in regards to the carnival. It was the worst carnival we've ever had in history of the Liberation festivities.
McDonald recently writing a letter to the administration for help.
I do not want any funding from the government because we've done it without the government's help, government funding. And again, it's not how much funds we need to operate the carnival. It's the interest that we're looking at, and it should be self-supporting.
He proposes allowing games of chance only for liberation.
The games are the interests, like the color games, the beto, even the games without casino.
If not, he hopes leaders can help them come up with another solution, as they are already behind with planning this summer's festivities.
It's already late, and we hope that they would entertain my letter.
Mayor McDonald says he has yet to receive a response. We even reached out to the administration and Senator Nelson's office, but they have yet to respond to our questions as well. Well, the pair arrested after a toddler is found apparently starving and bruised up. Geraldine Uggan Manalo and Raymond Cruz are charged with child abuse. Court documents state the complaint was called in after the child, 2 to 3 years old, was seen laying on a tarp placed on a concrete slab. He appeared to be hungry and had a bruise on his cheek and multiple abrasions on his back, feet, and head. He also hadn't taken a bath in days. Manalo allegedly left the child outside, telling police she wanted to prevent contamination because he has a boil. She is also charged with family violence. Cruz is also charged with assault on a peace officer. He allegedly punched the arresting officer in the hand. The officer, documents state, was left outside for 4 days. Well, it's now been 10 days since corrections officers at DEPCOR received their proposed disciplinary action. They have until the end of today to respond.
All 7 officers remain on the job for now. The next step is for the prison director to hand down the final action against his officers. But we've confirmed that more than half of them plan to fight it. Lack of experience, dilapidated facilities, and a shoddy investigation. 4 of the 7 prison guards being held accountable for the death of DOC detainee Idrit Manson Isar are fighting their notices of proposed adverse action. According to Guam Federation of Teachers Field Representative Robert Koss, the guards reporting for duty that day were, quote, rookie officers improperly assigned, end quote. Making matters worse, these inexperienced officers simply couldn't follow prison protocol. That's because the dilapidated facility is no longer suited or functional for its intended purpose. Issues include lack of air conditioning, inoperable toilets, and dysfunctional cell locking mechanisms, some of which DOC Director Tony Lamarena previously told KUAM is a funding problem and has resulted in an open-based system at the Hagatna lockup. Here he is in an interview with KUAM earlier this month.
It's a very old facility that was built over 20 years ago. So there are some situations, for example, all the cells there are wet cells, which have bathrooms. But again, because of the deterioration of the facility and the lack of funding, there are some cells where they don't have functioning toilets.
Officers are also appealing on grounds there are discrepancies in the investigation, specifically DOC and GPD's difference of opinion as to Isar's time of death. Koss stating, quote, this not only calls into question the accuracy and integrity of the DOC investigative finding, but also significantly mitigates allegations that any officer involved was negligent or improperly performed duties and responsibilities pertaining to head count and guarding of inmates, end quote. Rather than continue with the blame game, GFT asked the legislature to step in and provide some financial relief to fund these maintenance issues rather than, quote, making employees a scapegoat for the agency to cover up the dire funding needs for maintenance of the facility, end quote. 7 detainees, meanwhile, have been charged for what appears to be a revenge attack on Isar, who was in custody for allegedly raping a woman with a disability. Elas Cimarron, Albert Santos II, Benster Benjamin, Eisler Miller, Jimmy Hadley, and Marvin Retcham are charged with murder, manslaughter, and aggravated assault, while Andrew Rios Jr. is charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Rios is alleged to have covered his hand with a plastic bag and using his fingers to penetrate the victim from behind. Scheduling issues have pushed back trial for Prestige Automobile's chief executive John Shen and sales manager Orlando Domingo. Though jury selection was scheduled to start on Tuesday, trial has been delayed to the summer months due to witness and counsel availability. As reported, Shen and Domingo are charged in a scheme to fraudulently register luxury cars, then ship them to China. A new date for their federal trial has been set for May 30.
The airport is criticizing a DFS's motion last week asking Superior Court Judge Barcenas to set a specific date for Lotte Duty Free to pull out of the terminal. Barcenas last month voided the master retail concessionaire contract awarded to Lotte in 2012, ruling that the airport made a series of errors in the procurement process. But he also ruled that Lotte should remain until a new bid is conducted. Meanwhile, the airport has appealed the decision to the Supreme Court. In a statement, GIAA says the DFS motion will only make the judgment worse for Guam and is urging Judge Barcenas to step back and allow the High Court to review his decision. In a statement, airport attorney Genevieve Rapadas says the judgment was based on narrow and incorrect readings of the procurement law and that it was DFS that violated the rules by purposely not filing a timely protest based on its belief that it was going to be the successful proposer in the end. The airport says the decision to void a critical $154 million public contract undermines the financial stability of the airport.
Two teens caught stealing a purse from a car in Upper Tumon didn't make it very far. Police say the pair broke into a car at Kmart, taking the victim's purse. Store employees, however, were able to catch them at the nearby Chinese park until police showed up. Both 15-year-olds are charged with 2 counts of burglary to a vehicle, conspiracy beyond control, and curfew violation. They were taken to DYA. Investigators learned they were also responsible for a similar crime reported there 1 week ago.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Leave no room for doubts this Valentine's Day by heading to IT&E. For February only, get your boo the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 for just $59. And for the Apple lovers, get the 10 for just $199 on the 40 gig 4G LTE data plan. Or 2 S8s for just $199 on a share plan. This sweetheart deal is available for a limited time only.
Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. And during Ram Truck Month, save up to $97.50 on new Ram trucks. Cars Plus has a great selection of 2018 Ram trucks. Plus, shop our remaining 2017 Ram 1500. Voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. The Ram truck comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with 1.99 APR financing for qualified buyers, there's no better time to buy than now. It's Ram Truck Month, and only Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. Cars Plus, driven by you.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Hidus Ma'asi, Matson.
Your risk of infections and cancer. Some serious infections require hospitalization. Before treatment, get tested for tuberculosis.
News leader.
Welcome back. She hopes every word in her letter is taken to heart. One little girl is sending a strong message to island leaders, stressing that the recent school shootings across the nation have made her feel unsafe.
In an effort to address these issues, representatives from Guam's 41 different public schools are taking on some very important training. Carmen Terlahi has the story.
think I want to go to school because it's very scary. The first time we had an active shooter drill, after that my classmates were like so scared. One of them actually like cried really hard. Even though I try to relax, like it can't stop going through my mind thinking about everything that can happen.
Anything can happen, and the possibility of an active shooter prompted 10-year-old Kirsten Sinicolas, a fourth grader at Juan M. Guerrero Elementary School, to write a letter to the superintendent and the governor.
I don't feel safe at school because my classroom is wooden and it's very old. And it's just like if you were to have an active shooter drill or an active shooter, you could hear like the footsteps, so the shooter will know where all of us are at, and it's not really safe. It's not safe for my classmates and me and the teacher.
Safety that DOE takes seriously. Today marking the first day of an active shooter training with Guam Homeland Security. For Helene Cruz, a teacher and security officer at Atacao Elementary School, it's her first training, and she's taking what she learned back to her classroom.
The presentation today was just more being aware of your surroundings and know what the normal operations of the school are, and then be able to detect if something is suspicious.
Deputy Superintendent Erica Cruz hoping drills would reassure students that teachers are looking out.
With what happened in Florida, I'm sure kids see that on TV and become concerned about what may happen on their campus. And so it's important that our teachers and our administrators and our staff are always on top of ensuring that the drills that they're working on, students are prepared as much as possible.
Kirsten, still afraid her classroom won't keep her safe.
Maybe put us in a cement classroom. It won't be as safe, but I'll feel a little bit more safer in school.
A safer campus so that her and her classmates can focus on learning. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
And a group from Saitama City, Japan is visiting the territory. Heading the trip is Keiichi Okuchi, who has been bringing Japanese visitors to the island since 2004. His group, known as the OK Club or Saitama Friendship Group of Japan, typically does a cultural exchange program with local schools. He says it was a competition of more than 20 million people trying to get on the trip, and this round he was able to bring 40 people to visit. It was one many wanted to be a part of, despite last year's direct threat from North Korea.
I think they will not attack Guam, and it is a very governmental issue, so we cannot tell anything about it. But for him, he likes Guam very much. So because of that North Korean missile topic, some people cancels the flights. So he wants to tell everybody that this is safe and they can come to Guam.
And despite the threat last year, GVB recorded 1.5 million visitors for the territory in 2017.
Preservationists and conservationists are coming together for the Pacific Preservation Trust Summit. The event kicked off at the Guam Museum today. Along with performances and site tours, participants get the week to discuss ideas and what can be done to keep the island's culture alive. It continues tomorrow morning with Trina Leberer giving the keynote address. She oversees conservation operations for the region.
The Island Ideas 2018 Expo gets going this week. Hundreds of students from local schools and from Saipan will get a chance to learn what they can do to make an impact on their communities. The theme, the power of I, inspire, initiate, innovate. Bert Jackson is the Tourism Education Council board chair.
The idea is to help young people understand the impact of their actions in Guam, the impact of what their potential is in Guam, and how that impacts the island, how that impacts tourism, how that impacts culture.
The kids are members of the Wave Clubs. The Youth Expo starts this Wednesday at the Dusitani Resort.
It's one of the biggest events to help the island's only public hospital. The Guam Memorial Hospital Volunteer Association's anniversary charity ball is set for April at the Dusitani Resort. Honorary President and First Lady Christine Calvo.
We're asking you to continue to help the hospital volunteers save lives to equipment that is so necessary for our hospital.
The charity ball is scheduled for April 7th. For tickets, call Joyce Chrysostom at 488-5639.
Well, hundreds spent their Sunday morning thinking green. GTA employees and family members teamed up with iRecycle to pick up trash at Tingisan Beach in Dededo. Volunteers removing nearly 300 bags of trash and recyclable goods, including tires, plastic bottles and bags, food wrappers, cigarette butts, and white goods. This is the company's first ever employee team up to cleanup event. Well, stick around. Sports is next, but first, your island weather.
Binging movies in bed shouldn't make you want to hide under the covers when the bill arrives. That's why all of GTA's home internet plans are unlimited. We believe that you deserve better than home internet with hidden data fees, because you should be able to cuddle without worrying about bill trouble. So the choice is yours. Bill shock with the other guys, or a life unlimited with GTA. Say goodbye to hidden data fees and make the switch today to GTA. Your island, your network.
Hi, I'm Carl Lamort, the new face of Heineken Light. It has everything you want from a light beer, and it tastes great. Finally, a light beer that has it all.
It's a little intense.
I've only ever played villains.
Let's try gentler.
I could do gentler. Hi, I'm Carl Lamort, the new face...
The light beer that has it all. We'll give you a call.
I'll give you a call.
Low calories, low alcohol, and a great taste deserves a spokesperson that has it all.
I solemnly swear
to love you,
hold you,
and keep you as my little secret.
And hold you.
I think about you all the time.
Hold you.
Because you have that special something.
Rediscover your love for the Big Mac and its special sauce. And for a limited time, try the Mac Jr. and Grand Big Mac.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show tonight, footage from the kids' ATV racing event that took place down south in Umatic. The St. Paul Warriors basketball team's bringing home some championship trophies. But first off, some tennis news on Mason Caldwell looking to make history with the Harvest Eagles tennis team. Check it out. Mason Caldwell and the Harvest Eagles are looking to take home titles for both the boys and girls teams in this year's IIAAG High School Tennis League. The Eagles boys team is 8-0-1, while the girls team is 8-0. The junior player has only 2 losses in 3 seasons and was selected as the league MVP his freshman year.
We've always been like one of the top competitors, but never had the chance for the guys to grab the title. We have a chance to get double title with the guys and the girls. So we're getting steps closer every day. This year we have a really strong team. We're always bringing in some of the top tennis players, but winning this year would be really big for us.
Mason was on this year's Davis Cup team that represented Guam in Oman. where the team made history with their first ever win in its first ever entry into the Davis Cup. Caldwell and teammate Jean-Pierre Hun defeated Mongolia and Turkmenistan. He also picked up a win in the singles event over Tajikistan.
Going out to Oman, it was a really big difference in competition, showing up for Guam, being able to represent my island. It was a big thing. I think out of all the teams there, I think Guam was probably the biggest fighter out there. We played with heart for our country, and not just Guam, but the whole Pacific.
Motocross and ATV riders took to the course down in Umatic for the Guam Heritage Day races. The event was a non-championship points-earning round and was for Guam Heritage Day trophies only. Kids Mini ATV class, first place went to Camaris Chaco. Second place went to Gabriel Calvo. Caleb Cruz took third place. Jordan Chargaloff finished in fourth. And Kalen Sablon finished in fifth. Open ATV class, first place went to Robert Busick. Second place, Michael Timinglow. John Gilman placed third. Kenneth Tatautau in fourth. And fifth place went to Cameron Chaco. This upcoming Sunday, riders will be returning to race in Umatic for round 3 of the 10-round Monster Energy 2018 Guam Motocross Championships. Congratulations to the St. Paul Warriors boys and girls basketball teams for winning the ACSC basketball titles. The St. Paul boys squad defeated Grace International School Tigers 62-41 in Taiwan. The girls earned the 66-27 win over the Grace International Lady Tigers in Thailand for their back-to-back championship run. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Hafaday. This is Ton. He lives in the island of Tinian. Together with their mentor Bruce and the rest of his peers, Ton keeps the Tinian Teen Center running. The Teen Center does a lot for the youth of this tight-knit community, offering fun activities like paddleboarding sessions, ping pong tournaments, open mic nights, awesome foods, all in an effort to keep the teens of Tinian smart, safe, and drug-free. Gosh, just look at that view. Wherever they are, Ton and the rest of the Teen Center can share their message with their island and all of the Marianas. Always fast, always clear. When they go live here, it's fast and clear. When they update their status here, it's fast and clear. When they add to their story here, it's fast and clear. Everywhere fast, everywhere clear with the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Docomo Pacific, better together.
It's Triple J's out with the old and in with the new sales event going on now. Get unbelievable savings on all remaining 2017s, plus many 2018s. Take advantage of our best pricing on all Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $137 per paycheck, and used cars as low as $80 per paycheck, plus no payments for 90 days, 0 down and 1.9% financing on approved credit. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
It was quite the evening at Onward Beach Resort where 13 contestants went up for the title of Mr. Model of the Pacific 2018. This year included the first ever Mr. Teen Model of the Pacific. Getting that title was 18-year-old Anton Affligui of Manilao, and taking home the title as the second ever Mr. Male Model of the Pacific was 19-year-old Keone Justilana of Agate. Great job to all the contestants.
Yeah, and before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. This one going out to Madison Bay Isabella Tahaji. Happy birthday, Maddie Cakes, from Mommy, Sissy, and family. Jesse and Tovis, may you have more years to come, bro, and enjoy your special day. We love and miss you. Always the family in Guam, coming from your cousins Deborah, Dar, and Dee, John Paul and Juanet, Jason and Sarah, and Johnny Chris and Sherry. Adios, Sister P. Marty Crisostomo from Malolo, love your husband and children. Justine Cordero, happy birthday, Mommy. Love Karita and Micah and your entire family. Jamie Justo, happy birthday blessings. Love the familia. And happy belated birthday to Eva Jo Bamba Kinato. Casey Italor and Davina Alvarez, happiest of birthdays to our beauty queens. Celebrate with a blast. We love you both from the family. Janessa Blas Munoz, happy 26th birthday. May this day be a special day for you. May God bless you. With love always, Mom, Dad, and Nat, and your son Noah. Also, happy belated birthday to Janice Dolores Timingler.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here in the news desk. Stay tuned. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. Big things are coming up on the show, and big things are coming up for our island economy. As Nestor Lecanto shows you in tonight's episode of Business Matters, what is coming on the future as far as construction opportunities with the relocation of U.S. Marines from Okinawa to our island.
Business Matters.
If you aren't convinced by now, maybe the head of military construction projects here can offer reassurance that the buildup for the Marine relocation has finally begun. Captain Stephanie Jones is the commanding officer of Naval Facilities Engineering Command Marianas, or NAVFAC, and she can't emphasize enough the importance of what the Defense Department is building here.
Guam is in the news so much, and it's not just in the news on Guam. I received the NAVFAC summary of what we think the biggest things in the news are, and I am surprised how many times this small island of about 170,000 people with 2 installations on the way to B3 is in that summary of things going on.
That third installation, of course, is Marine Corps Base Guam. First announced more than 7 years ago, concerns over the scope of the troop relocation and funding issues led to delays. But the U.S. and Japanese governments have since committed to $8.7 billion